Dysmenorrhea, what I would say, is actually a pain or any sort of discomfort with the girls or women experience in the initial few days of periods, or sometimes during the whole menstrual cycle, maybe 7 days when the periods are there.
Is it true that dysmenorrhea is uncommon in young girls?
Dysmenorrhea, what I would say, is actually a pain or any sort of discomfort with the girls or women experience in the initial few days of periods, or sometimes during the whole menstrual cycle, maybe 7 days when the periods are there. I think it is very common. 80 to 90% girls, in my experience, has got some sort of dysmenorrhea. Maybe it may be mild discomfort, it may be moderate pain, or it can be severe pain also. And most of the girls, 80 to 90%, have dysmenorrhea. It is not uncommon. It is quite common, on the contrary.
Are menstrual pain complaints in adolescents often dismissed unnecessarily?
Yes. First of all, the people don't expect that the children can complain about it also. Most of the girls are hiding it. If they are having discomfort or some sort of pain, they are not telling to their maybe they are telling to their mothers, but they are not open about it. They usually don't tell anyone. They just become quiet in those days and does not say anything about it. But I think it's now the high time that if the girl is having severe pain, it should be consulted to a doctor, because dysmenorrhea can be without any cause, and usually sometimes there can be a cause of dysmenorrhea. So it's very important, if a girl or an adolescent is having pain during the menstrual cycle, that child or that girl should get consulted to a doctor.
Does starting treatment early lead to dependency on medications?
No, not at all. Actually, there are two types of main dysmenorrhea. Sometimes there is no cause because there is bleeding. So there's usually ischemia is going on in the uterus. You can say that the blood supply is getting off from the menstrual from the endometrial layers. So that's some sort of ischemic pain in the uterus. So that is a normal pain. But if you will take a medication, sometimes non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, maybe mild, any painkiller, some sort of mild painkiller, it's okay, and one cannot get addicted to it, and one cannot have dependency on it. You can have a painkiller and you can have a smooth cycle. There is no relation of there will be a decreased menstrual blood flow or something like that. It is not like that. You can take the medication, a proper painkiller, not with empty stomach. The girl should eat something. The girl or the young girl should eat something, and then they can have any form of non-steroid and anti-inflammatory. It's better you can consult the doctor once, and then you can take it on every menstrual cycle. This is the usual dysmenorrhea. But if it is severe, there is a severe pain, it is unbearable, and it is not settling through the usual medication, then one should consult a proper person, a proper doctor, and should have investigations. They can have an ultrasound, or they can have, because there are certain other causes of severe dysmenorrhea.
Can exercise or physical activity worsen period pain in young girls?
No, actually, mild exercise, or some people say mild exercise can relieve the pain, because actually what I'm telling you, there is a mild discomfort in the mild to moderate discomfort in the lower abdomen, or sometimes there is moderate pain. So there is no limitation of exercise, or no limitation. Sometimes the girls usually don't take bath on the first 2 or 3 days because it can worsen the menstrual pain. But if you can take mild warm bath, and then it can ease the pain. And exercise or mild exercise. Even sometimes people say that mild yoga can relieve the pain and can ease the pain also.
How can parents and schools support young girls in overcoming misconceptions?
I think we should educate in the schools to our young girls. First of all, it's in our part of the world, people even don't tell about the cycles or the periods to the young girls who are not having it. Ideally, we should tell it beforehand to the girls, in proper education, proper how to take proper care of themselves. It should be done at all levels, especially in the schools and the girls who are 10 to 13 years of age. I think it should be done before that, before the periods started. And once the periods started, I've seen in some universities or colleges there is easy availability of the undergarments, and the sanitary pads are easily available. But in the schools, in the common schools, most of the schools do not provide any sort of those things. So I think not only education is necessary in the early school, in the girls who are 10 to 13 years of age, about the periods, what are they, and how to take care of themselves, but also they need to provide the support. For example, so that the girls should not miss their school, and if they are coming to school, they can take a painkiller or they can have a medication and can come to school very easily, and they should be properly prepared. If sometimes the cycle comes suddenly before the days, so they should be well prepared. School should have the facility of providing the sanitary pads and the napkins, and the girls should be educated about the menstrual hygiene, the basic rules of taking care of themselves.